Everyday English Listening.
Topic 1. New York Sports.
So, thanks for telling me about the ballet and all that kind of stuff, but I'm really more into sports and things like that. Do you know of any other things you can do in New York?
Oh, absolutely. There are a lot of events for sports enthusiasts in New York. We've got basketball. The Knicks play. They're an NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
We've got baseball. The Yankees and the Mets play. And there's a feud. Yankees fans hate Mets fans, and Mets fans hate Yankees fans.
Right, they have two baseball teams.
That's right.
Wow.
Exciting. We even have a Subway Series. Well, it used to be a Subway Series because the teams would play at different stadiums. So they'd go to different stadiums for about a week or so, and the fans would just switch back and forth from one stadium to the other. But I think they recently built one stadium for both teams.
Oh. Do you think one team is more popular than the other?
I think probably the Yankees, unfortunately.
Oh, the Yankees?
Yeah, my family was a Mets fan, and don't tell anyone else in my family that I said that.
Oh, so I guess they don't get along with each other?
Oh, not at all.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm from Canada. I really like hockey. I know you guys have the Rangers.
Yeah, we do have the Rangers. They play at Madison Square Garden, so you could easily buy tickets to see a game there. That's the same place where the Knicks play, so...
Oh, they both play at the same place?
Yes, they do.
Oh, maybe I could go to a basketball and a hockey game.
You probably could if you stayed long enough. I think they have different seasons, right?
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Madison Square Garden's pretty big, though, so maybe there's more than one arena. I'm not sure. I've only been there 2 or 3 times in my life.
Oh, okay.
Well, we also have the U.S. Open, if you like tennis.
Right.
Yeah, that's held in Queens, not in on Manhattan.
Oh, okay. And what about the there's U.S. Tennis Open, but there's also the U.S. Golf Open. Is that in New York as well?
In New York? I don't think is it?
I'm not sure.
I don't think the U.S. Open for golf is in New York. No, I don't think that's New York. Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the tennis before?
Yes, I have. I saw Serena Williams play.
She's great.
She is, yeah. Powerful woman.
Yeah, I'd like to see her play.
Yeah.
Topic 2. His do-over.
So Adam, today we're talking about do-overs. So what is something that you wish you would have done over? For example, maybe something in your university life?
Yeah, there are a few things. I might change my major. I studied education, and while I enjoy what I'm doing right now, my free time, I really like watching movies about science and astronomy. And if I would go back to school and start my studies over, I'd probably study something along those lines, astronomy and metaphysics or something. I think that those topics are really interesting and on the cutting edge of science, and just fascinating to explore.
Interesting. Anything else you wish you would have done?
I might have been more involved in the sports clubs at my school. For example, the American football team. I played in high school, but in college I wanted to play, but I didn't have the motivation to push me over the edge to actually go out and really put my heart into it. I went to one training day and kind of tried out, but I didn't really pursue it as much as I would have liked. I think it would have been fun to be part of that culture and that environment.
How about something that you did do that maybe now you wish you hadn't?
I pierced my ears in high school because that was the cool thing to do. But now I don't wear earrings, and looking back on it, kind of just a silly thing to do, that trying to follow the trends that trends usually pass. So that would be something that I wouldn't do again.
Anything else you would have changed?
I might have made different decisions about my girlfriends at the time. I had a really good girlfriend in the beginning of college, and things didn't work out because of a variety of reasons. But I think if we would have worked on it, we could have made it happen. And so that's something I think about sometimes, about life in college. It's always, college love is kind of crazy thing. So we're too much like kids, I guess, I think, at that age.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
Topic 3. Her do-over.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Today we're talking about do-overs. So if you had a time machine and you could go back to your college years, is there anything that you might change or do differently?
I really wish that I would have had a chance to study abroad. I chose the wrong major initially. I was a nursing major for 2 years and worked really hard at a major I was really bad at. And then after 2 years, I switched schools and switched majors. And because of that, I had so many credits to take that I couldn't study abroad or do really any extra classes that were fun.
That must have been challenging. Where would you have liked to study abroad?
Really anywhere. I've always loved to travel, so I would have been open to going anywhere.
So you said you studied nursing. What would you have studied otherwise?
Well, I first went into nursing because everyone, since I was really little, told me that I would be a good nurse. So I thought it was my calling in life. And then, after taking lots and lots of science classes, which I'm really bad at, I decided to switch majors to education. And then I ended up liking that major, so I'm really happy that I switched.
Is there any other major that you would find interesting that you might study if you went back, or you're satisfied with education?
I'm glad I did education because I really like that work-wise, but if I had to go with things that I'm interested in, I probably would have been some sort of art major. Both my siblings are artists, so it kind of runs in the family a little bit.
What kind of art do you like?
Mainly dance, but I also was really into music growing up, so musical instruments and singing.
So do you have any friends that were interested in art or dance that you had in those times?
Not really, no, actually.
Do you wish that if you were in a group of people that liked the similar things, that you might have pursued different interests?
Definitely. I wish I would have done more with dance. I was a ballerina for 12 years, and I gave up on that when I was 14, because I got to the level where I either had to train professionally to do that for a job, or stay in a class where the younger girls would keep moving up. And so at that time I quit, and although I don't wish I was still doing ballet, I wish I would have continued some kind of dance.
So, Sarah, any funny haircuts or anything like that?
Actually, yes. 1 week before I moved away to college, I cut my hair boy short. And then after that, like during my first semester, I dyed it all different shades of red. And my hair's actually been pretty much every length and every natural-ish color.
Wow. How did your friends and family respond to your red hair?
My mom didn't like it so much. She thought I was going to dye it like a natural red color, but it was more of a fuchsia red color. So she didn't like it very much. But my friends and like my siblings understood because I've always been very different and didn't really care what other people thought about how I looked.
How long did you like it?
For a while, until I wanted change. I love change, so I'd always switch it to something else.
Wow, that's great. Thanks, Sarah.
Topic 4. Women in uniform.
So, Meg, I thought we would talk a little bit about the military. Now, you were actually in the military.
Yes, I was actually in the Army National Guard. So I enlisted when I was 17. In America, in the National Guard, each state can have kind of different rules or different requirements. And so in Indiana, you could enlist when you were 17 with parental permission. So I did that.
Wow, 17 is a really young age.
Yeah, and it sort of happened really quick. I mean, I was a junior in high school and got a call from a recruiter. And at first I was really against it, but then in Indiana, if you enlist and you serve your time, they'll pay your college tuition if you go to a state college. So Indiana has Purdue, and I was interested in going to Purdue anyway, so it seemed like a good idea.
That's fantastic. So how long were you in the service?
I was in for 6 years altogether. That was the minimum commitment. So I could have done more, but I was ready to maybe try some other things after that time.
Uh-huh. Did it go by fast?
Looking back, it definitely did. I think there are different stages that went by slow or fast. Like when I was in actual basic training, when you're in it, it was super slow. Like you're counting down the hours every day because you're just desperate to finish and get out and get back to your family. And I was, 17, so it's a little different. But now looking back, like I can't believe it was a full 6 years, and now it's so many years past that already. So yeah, I guess it did go by fast overall.
Yeah, that's great. So what was it like being a woman in the military?
It was, well, I served in a unit. I was a medic, and so my unit, a medical unit, naturally has more women. The ratio is closer to 50-50 men and women, which isn't, at least at that time, wasn't. I don't know the current statistics, but it isn't that kind of ratio for the Army as a whole, or the military as a whole. And so for me, I was with a lot of other women also when I was serving. But for me personally, there were definitely challenges, especially when I was first in basic training. Like, I definitely felt personal pressure to try to keep up with the guys with everything, whether it's, physically being able to lift and carry these heavy boxes and whatever heavy you have the same requirements that you have to do, and so and you never want to be the weak link. And I think some other women maybe suffered a little more because they couldn't keep up quite as well, and so that can be a little difficult. But maybe I'm naturally a bit more suited for this kind of thing. So
Right.
So I did okay, but I definitely wanted to and tried hard to keep up with the physical aspect, which isn't as easy sometimes for women.
Oh, that's interesting. So, you do look pretty fit, so you must have been really fit back in the day.
Yeah, I think, especially basic training, because you're never like not running anytime you're walking somewhere, or you're running, like they make you run everywhere, and you get like 5 minutes to eat breakfast and lunch and dinner every time you have to eat it so fast, and then you're doing all this physical training and then going through obstacle courses and carrying heavy packs and carrying your weapon around, and so that was probably the most fit I've ever been. Definitely not that now, but
Right. So if you had a daughter, would you recommend that she goes in the military, or would you recommend other women join the military?
I wouldn't not recommend it. I guess I don't go around telling everyone, you should just join the military, just do it. But I think if there's a woman who is interested in it or thinking about it, I would definitely, for me, I mean, it worked out great. There are a lot of like leadership and personal character qualities that I was really able to develop during my time that have continued to benefit me now. And so for a woman who's interested, I would definitely say go for it.
Awesome. Thanks, Meg.
Yeah.
Topic 5. The medic.
So, Meg, you are talking about being in the military, and you said you were a medic. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so a medic, which now I believe is called healthcare specialist, is, I always say it's kind of similar to being like a paramedic, where it's not a full nurse job. I think nurses have more training, like in the civilian side, nurses, but similar to paramedic, where you have certain like minor procedures that you're trained to do and higher level things than just an EMT, like doing IVs and giving shots and stitches and things like that. And you're trained, because it's the military, you're especially trained for emergency situations and how to treat someone who has maybe some serious life-threatening wounds. So
Wow.
That's medic.
That sounds like a really difficult job. I mean, it's not your typical just soldier job. You must have had a lot of schooling and education.
I had, well, everyone goes through the initial about 2.5 months, like basic training, and that's more kind of basic combat skills and physical training, that kind of thing. And then I had 4 months past that to train to be a medic. So we went through like a emergency medical technician course, just like civilian side. I got certified with that, and then we had additional training for the military skills like IVs and emergency procedures.
Right. Can you explain what IV is?
IV is intravenous, like getting fluids into your body. So if you've been injured and you've lost a lot of blood, or maybe you're dehydrated and you need some fluid in your body quickly, then we stick a needle into your vein, and then the fluids go in, and the needle comes back out, but a little tube stays in, and then you can get fluids quickly that way.
So anybody that's been to the doctor knows that's always kind of the anxious moment when the nurse or the person is going to stick the needle in. Were you good at doing that?
Oh, so once I learned how to do it, I think I was pretty good, and I actually enjoyed doing it, not in a creepy way, but it was, I guess because I was decent at it, that it was a part of my job that I enjoyed. But for myself, before we went through that training, I actually became dehydrated and needed to get an IV myself. And I was terrified because I really hadn't had that before in my life. And so the nurse was going to come, put the needle in my arm, and I was like, no, isn't there another? I'll just drink a lot of water. And she was saying, aren't you going to be a medic? And I was like, I haven't trained yet. I don't know how to do it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was recently in the hospital, and they had me strapped up for both blood and for the water, the intravenous drip. And it's annoying because you can't really move.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get up and walk anywhere, you're strapped with all these tubes, and it's not very convenient.
Yeah, or at least you have to be careful. When I was getting the IV, I didn't know that the needle doesn't stay in your arm. Now, for some things it does. For blood, maybe it's different. I'm not sure. But, so I was trying to be so careful, too. But you still want it to go well, so you don't want to move very much.
Right. So what percentage of people would you say freak out when they get the needle?
Oh, probably 90 or 95%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even, tough Army guys would come in and they'd be like, oh, I'm fine. And they'd be like, well, we need to give you an IV. And they'd be like, ah.
Right. Nobody likes that.
No.
So you transitioned, you were in the medical profession, and then you moved to education. Why did you leave the medical profession for education?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I became a medic in the military because I thought after when I could continue college, that I would be a nurse or a doctor. But my time serving as a medic helped me learn that was not what I wanted to do for my career after all. So I definitely am glad that I had those skills and the things that I learned and was able to experience. But I had English had kind of been on the back burner, and so then I thought, okay, let me revisit this, and it led to English education.
Wow. Have you ever thought about being like an English specialist for people in the medical fields, like teaching doctors and nurses?
I guess I haven't thought about that specifically. Sometimes I've thought about going back to military. They do have some like English schools in the military, and so I guess that would be related also. It could be, yeah, so that would be interesting, something to think about.
All right, great. Thanks, Meg.
Mm-hmm.
Topic 6. Sleeping patterns.
So, Sarah, let's talk about sleep. How many hours of sleep do you usually get every night?
Usually at least 8. Depends on how late I stay up, but usually about 8 hours I try to get every night.
And you're pretty consistent. Like, even on the weekends, you get 8 hours.
Yes, even on the weekends. Sleep is very important for me to feel normal and energetic.
Now, do you need an alarm clock to wake you up, or do you just wake up naturally every day?
I definitely have to have an alarm clock. Even though I wake up very easily, I don't wake up at a routine time easily. So I usually set 2 alarms, and that'll usually get me up.
Oh, wow. I actually have this kind of weird mental ability. I thought that everybody could do this, but I found out it's not the case. But I can wake up exactly at the minute I want, anytime. So like if I have to get up at 5:43, before I go to bed, I can say, okay, get up at 5:43, and I'll wake up at 5:43 exactly. I don't
That's
know.
amazing.
I don't know how. I guess your brain just can keep time. I when I tell people this, sometimes they think, oh, come on, that's not true. But really, like ever since I was a kid, I could just tell myself what time I want to wake up, and I'll wake up exactly at that time.
That's really quite amazing. I wish it was that way for me, but it's not.
Yeah, well, it's weird because like I don't use alarm clocks, and I can't, like an alarm clock. The idea actually, I can't have a deep sleep if I know that it's going to ring and wake me up, like it's going to jolt. To me, an alarm clock is like somebody throwing cold water on you, you know. So I don't use alarm clocks at all.
Yeah, I'm always paranoid about being late, so that's why I set 2, just in case like one doesn't go off. But I can sleep any time of the day. Like, it really doesn't matter what type of day. It's very easy for me to fall asleep for as long as whenever. So that's why I have to have an alarm clock, because I could sleep 12 or 14 hours and not wake up.
Wow. That's like, you do like sleep.
Yeah.
So do you take naps?
No, because then I feel really, like, groggy and really, like, irritable if I take naps for only, because I just want to sleep longer than that amount of time. So I don't take naps.
Like, can you sleep with the light on?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. Actually, that's probably why I always wake up so early. As soon as the light comes through the window, I wake up. I can't sleep if it's not dark.
I can sleep in any situation. Light, noise, sitting up, doesn't matter. I can sleep.
Oh, wow. So you're a deep sleeper.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Like just a little bit of noise or a little bit of light, and I can't sleep. Wow. And actually, I probably only get on average 6 hours a night, but I do sometimes take naps.
Okay. How long do you usually nap for?
Usually an hour. I found out if I go over an hour, then that's the danger zone, because then if you sleep like 2 or 3 hours, then you wake up and you're just groggy for the whole day. Like you can't. It's like you've been drugged, you know? So, yeah, at 45-minute nap's about it.
Yeah. When you were a child, did your parents make you take naps?
They did, and oddly enough, when I was a kid, though, I couldn't sleep. Like, you know, you would cry, I don't want to take a nap, you know, and then you'd be like, you'd conk out. But, yeah, I do remember. Do you remember having to take naps in school?
I didn't go to school, actually. I was homeschooled.
Oh,
so
really?
I remember taking naps when I was really little, but beyond that, and like school age, I never had to.
Oh, wow. Huh. Anyway, all this talk's making me tired. I think I'm ready for a nap.
Sounds good.
Topic 7. Dream time.
So, do you dream a lot? Do you remember your dreams?
I usually do, although I have to admit, now that I'm older, I don't dream so much. It's pretty rare that I have a dream. But I will have dreams if I'm really stressed or if I'm really sick. So usually every time I get sick, I notice I'm sick because I have a dream. And I'll wake up in the middle of the night from some crazy dream, and then I'll notice, oh, wow, I'm sick. So, yeah, that's about it.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Although, when I was younger, I used to have all these dreams related to work. I guess they were stress related. And the craziest dream was I was a waiter at a very fast-paced restaurant, and it was very stressful. And you had to wait on about 10 tables, and people would come in, and you had to get their food fast. And if you didn't, you'd get yelled at by the boss, or the customers would be upset. So I used to have this dream, and this was when I was in college, that I would be sleeping, and there would be a table in my room, and the customers would be sitting there watching me sleep, and they would be furious because I wasn't bringing their food, and I was like just sleeping in the bed right next to their table. And it was the same nightmare I had for like again and again and again. It was crazy.
That's really interesting and kind of funny too.
Yeah, I know. It's weird how you have the same recurring dream. I used to have another dream, a nightmare when I was young, and it would be I was riding a bicycle up a mountain, and the mountain was had a path that just kept going around and around the mountain, and you had to be really careful or else your bike would fall off the cliff. And then my bike, of course, would go off the cliff, and I would fall, and then you would wake up right before you hit the ground. I had that dream many, many times when I was a little kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever have nightmares or any dreams like that?
Yeah, I don't dream very often, but I have this one reoccurring dream also where I am in school, and it's the end of the semester, and I suddenly realize that there's one class that I haven't been going to the entire semester, and I'm going to fail it. So I panic, and I'm running around trying to find my professor to try to figure out what I need to do or what I need to study for the final exam so that I don't fail this class. But what's really interesting about this dream is I found out a few years ago that my father has the same reoccurring dream.
Wow. This is going to sound crazy. I've had that dream too. I've had a dream of I registered for a course in college, and I never went to the course, and I'm going to get an F, and I don't even remember when I registered or where the class is, but I didn't finish the class. Is that the same dream?
Exact same dream.
Wow. I wonder what it means.
Me too.
Maybe there's somebody out there that really knows what it means, and they're like, uh-oh, those two people are doomed.
There must be a lot of people with this dream.
Yeah, maybe that's it. There's certain structures. I know that the bike dream that I had about falling off the cliff, I've heard that many people have that. Yeah. Have you ever heard about the dream? I had it a couple times, the dream where you're in class, and then you suddenly notice that you don't have any clothes on, and you're afraid that people are going to notice you don't have any clothes on?
No, I've never had that one.
Yeah, that was one when I was really, really little, but yeah. Huh.
I've heard that a lot of people have dreams about their teeth falling out, and that this means that they're afraid of losing something in their life.
Really?
Something that's really important to them.
Oh wow, so if your teeth are falling out, you're going to lose something.
Yeah. Wow. Or you're afraid of losing something, because most people, their teeth are really important to them.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, I don't have any nightmares anymore. It's pretty rare. How about you?
Yeah, same with me. Thank goodness.
Yeah, maybe it's just a young thing.
Maybe.
Topic 8. Bucket list.
So, Adam, we're talking about bucket list. So, things that you would like to do before you die. So, what's your number one thing on your bucket list?
Ooh, difficult question. Number one, I'd probably have to say, skydiving, maybe. I've wanted to do it for a long time, and I went bungee jumping in New Zealand. That was fun, but I still have not yet been skydiving, and jumping out of a plane just sounds like an awesome idea to me.
What other kind of adventure sports have you done?
This summer I was, what did I do? Sandboarding in Peru. That was fun. When I was younger, I did a lot of snowboarding and skateboarding, and yeah, I really enjoy extreme sports. I ride a motorcycle currently. If I could, I'd love to race cars professionally, although I don't know how good I'd be at it, but just looks like so much fun.
Yeah, well, it's never too late to start something you want to do, so you should add that to your bucket list. So tell me, what else is on your bucket list?
I really want to write a book, be the author of a novel. I'm always in the process of writing something down, but it never seems to come to a complete book type end result. But maybe eventually all of these little things that I've written down will come into a book form, and I can publish it and complete my goal.
What kind of things do you write? Like, what kind of genre, or is it kind of all the same, or do you write many different styles?
I write a lot of different things. One thing that I write is travel stories from my travels abroad, or anecdotes that I come across when I'm traveling. Recently, I've been writing jokes. I really enjoy watching stand-up comedy, and have got kind of inspired from them to write some stuff down, although I've never really presented it. And I also write, I guess, fantasy stories as well. I have a few short stories, but it's been difficult for me to try to put them into book, like a longer version of them. The details are tricky to write down.
Wow, that's really interesting. Hopefully one day we'll be able to read a book written by you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So tell me, what else is on your list?
The other things would be traveling to Europe, which I plan to do hopefully next summer, so I can cross that one off the list. I've always wanted to go to Europe, especially Italy and Spain, so I'm excited to get that one done. And I'd also really like to go to Africa and go on a safari and see, lions, tigers in the wild, in their natural habitat. I've also heard that you could see sharks, great white sharks, in South Africa on the coast. I had some friends that went and sat in a cage in the water and had great whites swim by. That sounds like a terrifying and once-in-a-lifetime experience that I'm terrified of sharks, but it would be quite amazing to see.
Yeah, I am terrified of sharks as well, so I probably will not be adding that to my bucket list. But yeah, I hope you get to do everything that's on your list there.
Thanks. Me too.
Topic 9. Living for today.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Today we're talking about bucket lists, things you want to do before you die. Do you have anything?
Actually, no. I don't have a bucket list. And the reason why is because I have already done, or I'm currently doing, the things that I want to do. In addition, I like to live in the now, so like the present of like what's happening. So I really don't think of the distant future very much, just like what's right in front of me. For example, I'm going to Singapore soon, in about 10 days, and I'm really looking forward to that and the new adventure and things that I'll get to do there.
What sort of things do you have in mind to explore in Singapore?
First of all, swing dancing. My favorite kind of dance currently is Lindy Hop swing dancing. And Singapore is one of the places in Asia that has several swing dance meetup groups. So I look forward to dancing several of the nights while I'm there. but also trying all of the delicious food and just exploring a country that I've never been to.
Wow, great. What are some of the things that you have wanted to do in the past that you have accomplished already?
I think living in foreign countries. I've already lived in 2 foreign countries, and I plan on living in foreign countries probably the rest of my life. So that's a big one. And I think just everyday things like finishing college and getting 2 master's degrees and being able to support myself. It's all things that are important to me.
Yeah, those are really great things. What are your 2 degrees in?
My first degree is in teaching English to speakers of other languages. This degree allows me to be able to live in other countries and to teach English. And then my other degree is in global studies, so it's like an intercultural degree where I learned about different cultures and religions.
Whoa, that's really great. Have you ever eaten anything exotic or had any really interesting experiences that most people might not have had when you're traveling to these different places and fulfilling your goals?
I've definitely eaten a lot of different things, most of which I'm not really sure what a lot of it was. The strangest, probably jellyfish, maybe. I've also gotten a chance to ride a lot of different animals. I've ridden camel, donkey, horse, elephant, and even an ostrich. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Have you done any other extreme activities?
Yeah, I've been skydiving before. I've been volcano boarding. Trying to think what else I've done. I haven't been bungee jumping. I think that's probably one of the only ones that I haven't done as of right now. But I really have no desire to do that one. So.
Wow, that's great. You've lived a good life.
Topic 10. Introverts and Extroverts.
Hi. So, Rory.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
I'm not sure, you know. Sometimes I think that I'm basically an introvert.
Yes.
Like, as I get older, I much prefer my own company.
Interesting.
I don't really like going to parties that much, if there's going to be new people there.
Mm-hmm.
If it's my friends, I'm happy to go out, but I don't know. What about you?
It's funny what you said. I feel the same way. I think sometimes I'm an introvert, and at other times I can be an extrovert. But maybe in reverse to what you said, I feel like the older I get, the more extroverted I become.
That's interesting.
While I was younger, I was a lot shyer, so I preferred my own company. But now I find that sometimes too, I really enjoy people, so I like to meet new ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In the classroom, as a teacher, I'm quite an extrovert, I think. I quite like being up in front of students, showing off. But I would never do that in front of other teachers or my friends.
Interesting.
In my personal life. But it's something about the classroom, maybe because it's my environment and I'm in control, that I feel more comfortable, like being more extroverted and showing off, camping up.
I think it would be a little difficult to be introverted if you were a language teacher. I think it certainly helps to be extroverted, or to act to be able to become more extroverted when you're in the classroom.
Yeah,
for sure, for sure.
And have you ever done anything really extroverted, like performed in public? Or
before I used to sing actually, and I've sang in concerts.
Right.
And it's true. I think that's where my introverted self really comes out, because although I enjoy singing and I like the attention to a certain extent, but I get really nervous.
Right.
Really, really nervous when I'm in front of a large crowd. And sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't do that so much
Right.
anymore.
And do you think people can change? Do you think people, because people seem to want to become more extroverted, it seems to be like society says extroverted people are successful people.
It's true.
Do you think people can change, or do you think people should try to change?
I've heard of actually people saying that depending on the language, that people change with language. I've heard of some of my students saying that when they speak in a different language, their personality actually changes.
Right.
Where maybe in their own language they may be quieter,
Mm-hmm.
but when they speak the different language, they become a lot more extroverted.
Right.
It's as if they change.
Uh-huh.
So whether or not it's a real change, I think you can fake it,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, even if you're not an extrovert or an introvert. Maybe for a few hours or for
Right.
the occasion, yeah, you can pretend and then go back.
Right. I
Yeah.
wonder if when we speak a different language, we don't have the same connections with the words.
That's true.
It makes it easier to maybe speak more honestly and not worry about what other people think of us.
That's true.
Topic 11. Power of personality.
So Rory, in the last conversation we were talking about changing your personality,
Mm-hmm.
and you never said what you thought of that.
Well, I think when you learn a language, often your personality does change. I notice with my students that they often seem quite different when they speak English to when they speak Japanese. I'm not sure if that's a language thing or a cultural thing. You speak more than one language.
Yes, I do.
Do you think your personality is different in each language?
That's a really good question. Just thinking of it right now, I think maybe for me it's more a question of the culture,
Mm-hmm.
because I think when I am in an environment where I'm expected to be more extroverted, I tend to try to live up to that.
Right.
I tend to try to be more cheerful, more open, more friendly,
Mhm.
or friendlier, I should say. But when I'm somewhere where I know that it's expected of me to be quieter, I do tend to become more quiet.
Right.
So, I don't know. That's a really good question. And
Do you think there might be something in languages which make them like a more extroverted language or a more introverted language? Like I think about Italians. Maybe it's a stereotype of Italians, but they seem to be very extroverted, and the language seems to help them in that extroversion.
that's true. That's very true. That's a good question, because I'm just trying to think of culture and languages in general, and there's that debate of how cultures and languages are intertwined.
Mhm.
Is it the culture that came first,
Mhm.
or is it the language that made the culture the way it is? So I don't know. I really don't know. But I would love to read more research and find out.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed since I moved to Asia, to countries like Japan and Korea, the people do seem more introverted, and the language also seems more introverted. So I wonder if the language, like you say, I wonder which came first, the language or the culture.
And I think, to add on to that, when I think of Asian students that I've noticed speaking English, which to some people is a more extroverted language, they always seem more confident.
Yeah.
They seem friendlier, they seem more open to talking about themselves, their family life. But when you talk to them in their native language, it seems like they revert back to their cultural norms, which would probably be less.
Yeah.
So maybe there is something there.
Yeah, I guess the culture over here in Asian countries is people are less likely to share information. There's less. I mean, in the West, especially recently, there's quite a pressure on you to be more open.
That's true.
Whereas maybe in Korea, Japan, China, people are more closed and just have different boundaries.
I'm just trying to think of African countries. Like being a Nigerian myself, we've had the issue of colonization and where the Western British culture is valorized. So coming from that aspect, I wonder before how we were we more introverted? Because in a lot of ways we're very similar to Asian cultures and Asian values. We have a lot of that as well. But now it's true that being able to speak English and express yourself in a more Western way is a lot. It weighs a lot. It means a lot. So people really enjoy that. People really take their value from that.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's a really interesting topic.
Because, people often see England or British people as a bit introverted and a bit quiet, a bit cold, and yet we share the same language as America, and people tend to think that people from North America are quite brash and extroverted.
That's true.
So I guess it is more cultural than language-based.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we've come to a solution then.
Okay.
We found it. It is the culture more than the language then.
Okay.
Okay.
Topic 12. Shower schedule.
So, Meg, I have an interesting question for you.
Okay.
So the other day I was talking with a friend, and she asked me about, showers, like how many showers do I take a day? Mm-hmm. And I think I had mentioned I take 3 showers a day. That's why that came up. And she thought that was absurd, that nobody should take 3 showers a day.
Yeah, it seems a little crazy to me.
That's odd. Like, I thought that was kind of the norm, actually,
really?
These days. Yeah, because you take a shower when you wake up. Uh-huh. Then most people go to the gym. You take a shower when you're done at the gym, which is usually mid-afternoon or early evening. And then I usually take a shower before I go to bed.
I don't think I've ever known anyone who's taken 3 showers a day.
Really?
Do people that you know take 3 showers a day?
I think I just assumed all of my friends kind of did the same thing because they're guys and they also play sports. So they also take a shower, when they wake up, before they go to bed, and after they work out.
Yeah. Well, I guess sports or working out definitely makes a difference. I might totally frighten you with the showers that I take because I do not shower 3 times a day. Typically, I shower once every 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, because especially with my skin, it gets pretty dried out if I'm showering so often with the soap and the water and everything. So I have to be careful with that. But if I played sports or something where I got sweaty, I'm definitely taking a shower after that, an extra shower. But I've never taken 3 showers in one day, I don't think.
Well, so you, even when it's hot in summer, you just do it once every 2 days?
If I get sweaty, then maybe more than that. But I don't sweat very easily, so I usually don't have to worry about it.
Oh, wow. I think it must be what your skin gets conditioned to, because one of the reasons why I always take showers is not that I feel dirty, is like I feel like my skin gets itchy unless I take a shower.
Yeah, and it might be because, and I think there's a difference too with where I lived in America and living here in Japan, like the humidity is different, and so my skin gets more dry here, actually. It has the opposite effect. So I had to be more careful here maybe than I did in America.
Yeah, that's true. So what about washing your hair? You wash your hair every 2 days?
Yes. Yeah, wash my hair every 2 days. Use conditioner maybe once a week. My hair would also get super dried out. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little frizzy right now.
Yeah.
So that's how it naturally is, my hair type too. So maybe your hair type handles well getting washed 3 times a day?
Yeah, for one, I wash my hair usually twice a day, sometimes just once. But always, after I work out, I have to wash my hair. But one thing I never, ever do is use conditioner, and I don't understand why people use conditioner on their hair.
Well, short hair, maybe you don't have to worry about it as much.
Oh, okay.
But with longer hair, and especially earlier this year, I had hair quite a bit longer than this even, and the ends get dried out very easily, and they don't replace like the hair oils because it's coming from the roots, and so you have to add some extra moisture into the hair if you want it to stay looking decent. So, probably more important to condition long hair than short hair.
Okay, yeah. Because I've never understood why people use conditioner, because when I use it, it just makes my hair seem waxy.
Yeah, maybe you're using too much conditioner or not washing it all out.
Maybe. I know. I have to learn how to wash my hair. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Topic 13. Brush and shave.
Okay, so Meg, this week we're talking about just grooming habits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go now to our teeth.
Oh.
Now the dentist says you should floss every day. Do you floss every day?
Now I do, actually. I'm pretty consistent with it because a couple years back I had some cavity issues that I didn't want to go through again, and I wasn't so good about flossing before that, but the dentist said that if I flossed and used mouthwash regularly, probably it could be avoided. And so ever since then, rarely every day I do it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, the dentist always says you should floss more. I'm pretty good about every other day, and then every now and then I'll get on a binge, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to floss every meal like I'm supposed to. But I'm pretty good. I brush my teeth twice a day. I know some people at work, I see them brushing after lunch. Are you one of those people that brushes their teeth 3 times a day?
No, I do twice a day also. Do you do morning and night?
Yeah, and actually my dentist told me don't do it 3 times a day because if you do it too much, it could do damage to your gums. So, plus he said I was brushing my teeth too hard. So, I was pushing my gums back.
I actually had the exact same experience earlier this year. I went to the dentist because I felt like I maybe had some cavities because I had sensitivity in my teeth, and I was also brushing too hard because I was working. So I really want them to be so clean, and so my gums also were receding a little bit.
Oh, yeah, and it's so painful when it happens. You realize you have to reverse it, Yeah. So what about the tongue scraper? Do you do the little tongue scraper thing?
I don't have like a tongue scraper. I just kind of use my toothbrush and just brush it a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you use tongue scraper?
I have one. I use it sometimes.
How does it work? What does it do?
It's just like you're raking leaves. You just put it in your mouth and you just like scrape your tongue. And you do get some stuff that comes off of it. You're like, oh, wow.
Oh, but it sounds kind of gross, actually.
It is a little bit gross, yeah.
But good for your mouth.
Yeah, definitely good. Definitely good. So then the other thing I guess we can talk about is shaving. Now, so I'm a guy, so I have the facial hair.
Right.
So, but I'm pretty lucky. I only have to shave maybe twice a week.
Oh, really?
I can get away with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the full-on, manly beard thing that comes out, so.
Yeah. Yeah, some people have to shave like twice a day, so that seems like it would be inconvenient.
Yeah. So do you I guess because you're a woman,
right.
Do you have to do the legs thing?
Yes. Yes, I do shave my legs pretty much every time I take a shower.
Really?
Yeah.
How annoying.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is annoying. I actually really don't like it. I wish I didn't have to do it. And I mean, I guess I could choose to stop, but I'd rather do it. So, usually every time I take a shower, because then if you're wearing a skirt or shorts, it's visible. So, yeah, just try to be careful.
And, honestly, from a guy's perspective, when I look and I think about women shaving their calves below their knees, it looks like it'd be very easy to cut yourself because your legs are kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for the calves, it's not so bad because it's kind of a straight, it's more smooth. But the knee part, you have to be careful.
Oh, right,
because it's like a shape. It's and ankles. And feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like for guys, our problem is right under the chin and then the Adam's apple. The Adam's apple is brutal because you kind of have to go around it, so it's very easy to cut yourself.
Yeah. Do you use an electric razor?
No, I should. I'm very environmentally unfriendly. I use those plastic razors because they're just so easy.
Yeah.
And actually, I kind of get away with it because of the gym I go to. They offer it. They have free razors in the men's room, so I just do it there.
Yeah.
Save a few bucks.
Might as well.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, anyway, I guess we're somewhat healthy.
Yeah, or clean at least.
Exactly.